Good afternoon to everyone. Day 2 is about to begin, and we're excited that you have joined us for this first session on the We Think Twice campaign. Let me just mention that because we have so many things to talk about within 30 minutes, there will not be a time for Q&A at the end, but there will be a time for you to put questions into the chat box, and they will be answered. So prepare yourself for that and have the chat box available. Owen Burns serves as Communications Manager with ACF and the Family Violence Prevention and Services Bureau and the APP division. He has more than 20 years experience in marketing, advertising, digital communications, and managing and executing full-scale marketing strategies for clients in a wide variety of industries. And then joining Owen will be Denise Dickinson. And Denise Dickinson is a program manager for RTI International's Child and Adolescent Research and Evaluation Program, and has expertise in studies of risk behaviors among children and adolescents. So welcome, first of all, Owen.
Thanks, Jerry. I really appreciate everybody's time today. I see we've got a good crowd. I'm going to be fairly quick here so we can get into the fun aspects of our presentation today. We're going to be talking about the We Think Twice campaign, which, as you can see from the screen, it's a campaign targeted and designed to engage youth to help promote healthy decisions and behavior. The next couple are kind of technical slides, and we have a quick disclaimer here, fairly standard statement, mostly expressing that the views we express here today don't necessarily reflect the official policies of HHS or endorsement by the U.S. government. You can read that at your leisure. And our 3 learning objectives, primary learning objectives. We want you to become familiar with the components of this We Think Twice campaign because they're really interesting and they can be really helpful. We want you to understand how your organizations can leverage the campaign in your programs. And finally, we also want to introduce you to, if you haven't already seen, the research and educational products that have been developed alongside the We Think Twice campaign. Next slide. So our agenda here, we're going to start out with the We Think Twice campaign assets on social media, the website itself, and then the content on that site, which comprises our youth-focused products. I mentioned the research and education materials, so we'll talk about a few of those, and then we're going to pose some questions that you can respond to in the chat and tell us how you might envision yourself using the We Think Twice campaign in your own programs. The We Think Twice campaign was designed with and for youth, as you can see there. We wanted to make sure that the campaign resonated with youth, and so we used them, leveraged them, their knowledge, their input in developing the campaign. The website and social media and outreach efforts are all built with the objective of shifting perceptions and helping teens and adolescents think along the lines of healthy relationships, goal setting for the future, and empowerment. The slide you're seeing here is the We Think Twice logo, and you'll see that again a number of times throughout, and we'll go to the next slide, please. I've already mentioned that there's several components of the We Think Twice campaign and the research and the educational products. The sort of initiation, or not the initiation of it, but the way we developed the site was to extract information and involve youth in how it was developed. And that was done through something we call the Hive. It's a digital community of youth and teens that contribute to design ideas, reviews, and other various other factors of the site. We initially launched the social media presence of We Think Twice in July of 2019 on Facebook and Instagram. That was followed in April of 2020, and just after our friendly pandemic debuted. And you can see the URL for that there. The digital products that are developed with the assistance of the Hive and input are all loaded up onto the website. And as a matter of fact, we just recently, in the last couple of months, have added a good number of new and fun resources that Denise is going to talk about a little bit later. And the last item I have for you today is the youth serving professionals assets that we've developed. As I said, research and educational materials, tools, and resources, all designed to help your programs leverage the information to be able to help you reach youth in a more effective manner. And again, Denise will touch on a few of those in her presentation in the next few minutes. Denise?
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Owen. I'm going to start by briefly talking about our social media engagement, which is primarily through Instagram and to a smaller extent through Facebook. Next slide. Okay. This slide shows the three main areas of effort on the social media campaign. First, we developed social media messaging and products for a variety of content types across both stories and posts, including text-based graphics, photos, videos, and animated GIFs and memes. Then we implement the messaging by posting 3 to 4 times a week, publishing more than 300 newsfeed posts, 6 Instagram highlights, and more than 100 stories already. Then we measure engagement and post performance monthly to assess performance. Engagement continues to outperform industry standards, and we've exceeded all of our year 1 campaign objectives. Thanks, Owen, for the links. This slide gives a short overview of our strategy for posting to Instagram. We have a small team of content creators that develop content based on our branding guidelines, and we develop content in batches based on particular themes like goal setting or motivation. 3 methods that have really helped increase follower engagement have been the introduction of paid promotions in November of 2019, leveraging contests and giveaways, and also partnering with Instagram influencers to share messages and extend reach. I just want to quickly highlight a recent contest we held as part of the campaign. It's called the Create Your Future National Arts Contest. Youth were asked to convey their goals for 2021 through art, either photography, digital art, painting. We got 152 entries and recruited and trained 6 youth from the Hive to judge the entries. We had 4,751 page views on the We Think Twice website. It was very, very popular. And got about 35% increase in new Instagram followers as a result, about 580 new followers, which was fantastic. We selected 10 winners across first, second, and third place across 3 different age categories, which were ages 13 to 14, 15 to 17, and 18 to 19. And we'll just briefly show you the first place artwork on the next few slides, just to give you a sense of the talent that we had in this contest. So this first drawing with watercolor is the 13 to 14-year-old first place winner. Next slide, Amanda. Okay, this piece was we actually had 2 first place winners in the 15 to 17-year-old category. This one is influenced by change and journey, according to the artist. The next slide is the other first place winner in the 15 to 17-year-old category, which represents how the artist wants to be happier in 2021 and see the brighter things in life. Next slide. Okay, this slide shows the 18 to 19-year-old first place winner who expressed their goal of using time available in 2021 to become more knowledgeable in their interest area of computer animation. Next slide. Okay, this slide gives an overview of some of the Instagram metrics. Just briefly, you can see across exposure, engagement, influence, and action. Impressions are the number of times an account's content was shown to users. This number is a result of both our organic and our paid promotions. And then just for comparison on the engagement, the average Instagram account has an engagement rate of 3%. And this number takes into account the 8.22% takes into account the organic engagement on posts and impressions. Let's see, we have more than 300 youth actively engaged in the Hive, which is our online national platform through which we solicit youth input on product design as well as social media content. And we've had over 300,000 video views and story completions. Next slide. So as stated previously, the campaign website was launched in April of last year, and it really acts as the hub for many aspects of the campaign. Next slide. So as with the rest of the campaign, the youth had a really significant involvement in creating the website's look and feel, the colors, etc. Next slide. Just really briefly, I wanted to just let you know that the website content is organized according to 4 key topic areas that Owen Archie already mentioned before: healthy relationships, goal setting and success, smart choices, and then later on we incorporated a mental health page, which includes coping with COVID-19 challenges. And then really briefly, I'll go to the next slide and just let you see a little bit about our website reach and engagement. We've also seen strong metrics for the website since launch. A few metrics I just want to specifically draw attention to are the number of users who've accessed the website from social media. We've created promoted ads on Instagram and Facebook to draw traffic to the website with really good success. We've also seen a lot of interaction with the digital products, as you can see in the right-hand column there, including quiz completions, product downloads, and video views. And then we'll spend a little bit more time talking about the digital product next. I want to kind of give you an overview of everything, and then we'll do a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the new and exciting products that we've recently created. Okay, so next slide. So the purpose of this task with the youth-focused products is to develop and disseminate visually interesting and interactive digital content, such as BuzzFeed-style quizzes and listicles, short videos, games, and other interactive digital products that communicate important information about adolescent health, risk behavior, healthy decision-making, goal setting, and healthy relationships. All of the products have been designed with youth participation from the concept phase to the development phase. We started by polling youth in our national online youth panel, which we call the Hive, about a variety of ideas, and then we held design sessions with them to flesh out each of the most well-received product ideas. We held a number of in-person focus groups, and I've actually seen some of you here at this meeting. I saw a name of at least somebody who, one person who has hosted some teams that participated in one of our, some of our in-person and online focus groups. And so, so we've gotten all kinds of input through our youth online panel as well. So these products are all housed on the We Think Twice website and are coordinated with the messages that youth receive as part of the social media campaign, so that everything created and disseminated falls under a cohesive brand with a unifying message. Next slide. Okay, this slide demonstrates the wide range of products that we've created and are continuing to create. So far, we have 5 BuzzFeed-style quizzes, including a quiz that corrects norms pertaining to teen engagement and risk behaviors based on a national survey data, and quizzes about general financial literacy, like credit card debt, student loans, et cetera, and costs of caring for a baby in the teen years. We also have 2 BuzzFeed-style listicles, one that provides youth with information about behaviors often exhibited by teen leaders, and another one that provides a simple way for youth to learn concrete ideas and strategies for selecting and carrying out healthy age-appropriate goals. We have a goal-setting video called Dreams Over Drama that encourages youth to set and pursue their own goals and focus on key milestones such as graduating high school, pursuing a career, and building healthy relationships while avoiding risky behaviors that can impact their future. We have a motivational Spotify playlist developed with submissions from teens. We have an online game to teach youth about characteristics of healthy and unhealthy relationships. And we have several tools, such as a planner to help youth set and achieve 3 goals, a template tailored especially for teens on how to create a resume, and a tool and resource guide to help teens identify and connect with mentors. We'll be showing you a few of the newest products next, some of which I've already mentioned. So next slide, we'll give you an overview of the three things that we will be demonstrating. The first product that we'll demonstrate is an online game called the Healthy Relationships Challenge, which engages teens in identifying healthy and unhealthy characteristics and behaviors in both friendships and romantic relationships. It also helps them evaluate their own relationships and provides information on where to seek out appropriate resources if they find themselves in an unhealthy relationship. The second product is a matching activity or a tool called Find Your Mentors, which provides guidance and resources for identifying and connecting with mentors in a variety of community settings. It includes a resource guide highlighting the importance of safety while establishing mentoring relationships and giving you step-by-step instructions on reaching out to and connecting with potential mentors. The third product is a fun, fast-paced personality style quiz for teens to learn what their leadership style is. We'll start with the Healthy Relationships game. Amanda's going to bring that up. Okay. So the game has two rounds. The premise for round one is that the users are entering a simulated contest that they see in Instagram. When they click to enter the contest, they're presented with 6 sequential scenarios that show videos of teens interacting via text messaging. Teens in our focus groups actually helped us write the scenarios. There are 4 unhealthy behaviors and 2 healthy behaviors presented. We're not seeing the sound, but it has some music in the background, and you can see that it's showing these text-based scenarios. Then it gets through that, and the user will need to show whether the relationship is healthy or not healthy. For the purposes of this demo, we'll choose the correct answer, which is not healthy. And so we also we talked with teams about what kind of incentives to use for the game. For example, how would the scoring work? And you might have seen on the top right corner there, we came up with the idea of showing the points increasing throughout the game for things they get right. They would get new imaginary followers on their simulated Instagram page. The teens really liked the idea of the user becoming more of an expert as the game progressed and therefore accumulating new followers. We think it kind of implies that someone who knows what's healthy and what's not in a relationship makes smart choices, and make smart choices can be like an influencer for making healthy choices. So as you can see, Amanda's going through the various scenarios because we don't have a lot of time to spend a lot of time on each one, but she's kind of going through them. But you can see that when they answer, they'll learn whether they're correct or not. And if the answer was correct, they see an increase in their fictitious Instagram followers. They also get important feedback about why the answer was correct or incorrect. And there'll be information about the particular behavior being represented and how to identify it. Normally, as I said, the user would go through all the 6 scenarios, but we're proceeding quickly to the second round. So you'll see here, this is the results screen after going through all 6 of the different video-based scenarios. And to keep up with the you could see how they ended up getting a total of Instagram followers for the first round. The second round is for a little bit deeper learning and designed to be a little more challenging. The user has a chance to put into practice what they learned in round 1 by seeing if they can respond to someone asking for advice about a relationship issue. The premise or storyline is that since they've learned a lot in round 1, they're getting more followers and people are coming to them for advice via direct messaging. They'll be getting 3 direct messages to answer, all about unhealthy relationship behaviors, but they have to choose among 3 possible response choices and click the one they think is best. Once the user clicks their choice, they're told whether it was correct or not and are given additional information they could share to the person who sent the direct message. And so in the interest of time, we'll be going through the last two direct messages quickly so that you can see what happens at the very end of the game. Okay, and at the very end of the game, they're given government-sponsored resources they can use if they ever find themselves in an unhealthy relationship, or if they want to share this information with their peers. Okay, so we'll go on to the next demonstration, which is a product called Find Your Mentors. It's a tool that I mentioned earlier. The first screen not shown before this just tells the teens a little bit about how having mentors can improve their lives and help them make smarter and healthier choices, and even make it more likely that they'll graduate from high school and go on to college or vocational school. And then when they click that button, they enter the activity and they get a series of 5 questions to assess whether they either already have someone in their life who serves each of 5 mentor roles we've defined, or if they don't have someone in their life. So that first question that you saw had to do with the tutor trainer mentor type, and I think we clicked yes on that. Once you answer all of the questions, go through all of the questions, they come to this screen and they'll click on each icon to view a pop-up screen with information on either how to find a particular mentor type, or how to make the best use of the mentor they stated that they already had in that category. And for example, you've already seen one of each of those. One is, yes, you have a tutor trainer in your life, congratulations. And here's how some ideas for how to make the best use of that mentor. And then the other one is consider finding this type of mentor, and and look for some tips on how to find mentors after getting all of your results. And so let's see, then once they've looked at each of those categories, they'll go to, they click on a link that will bring them to a resource guide on the website with more information on each of the topics shown. So to promote safety, we have a statement front and center on that screen in the tool itself, telling teens to share these resources with a parent or guardian before reaching out to any mentors. And inside, you're seeing, scrolling through the resource guide, there are templates and checklists to help teens along the way, including a safety checklist, a guide for writing the perfect first email to a potential mentor, tips for reaching out to a mentor by phone, and great conversation starting questions to help teens make the most of their relationships with a mentor. And then after they can always go back to the screen and then proceed. And then we also found that the youth in the focus group really expressed an interest in being able to be like a mentor, and to have resources for how youth could fulfill the mentor role for other people. So we give them some encouragement and ideas for how to pay it forward in simple ways, like helping someone with something they're good at, or just being a good listener and encouraging their friends to make smart choices and stay focused on their goals. Okay, the next demonstration is a quiz. And we're just going to go through this really, really quickly. It's a fun and interactive product to help teens determine whether their personal leadership style is either more people-focused or results-oriented. Teaches them the importance of considering both people and productivity when leading. It uses a personality quiz format. It's short and simple, provides the educational content at the very end. It's aimed to grab their attention and route them to the 6 Secrets of Becoming an Inspiring Teen Leader listicle, where they'll be able to receive more tips for developing leadership skills and making healthy choices. We have a couple of sexual risk avoidance education materials to go over. The first is the Community Saturation Source Book and Toolkit, which are available on the Exchange. The source book equips youth serving program providers with guidance on assessing a community's readiness for community saturation, planning specific activities to disseminate messages, It offers recommendations tailored to specific stakeholder groups, and it provides practical information for key activities identified in the field plan. The toolkit provides practical step-by-step information, guidance, and recommendations on how to implement community saturation. We don't have time to go into detail about these products here, but we'll share some information later about how you can learn more. The second type is our educational materials and resources, which are products that supplement or can be used in tandem with currently available curricula and resources to fill gaps and address the needs of learning modes of diverse populations of youth. There are three categories. The first category is plug and play activities for youth that can complement existing curricula. Two products in that category are one called Finding My Passion, that encourages youth to become aware of their aspirations and strengths and identify venues, resources, and support systems to assist them in achieving their goals. Another product called Checking Our Reality reveals and corrects youth perceptions about peer attitudes and behaviors. The other category is resources for facilitators. We have an interactive toolkit to engage parents and caregivers in optimal health programming, and a user-friendly interactive guide to enable facilitators to integrate a trauma-informed approach into their programming. And we'll also be developing some materials under caregiver education resources. And next we have just a few quick questions about, maybe we'll just do one of our questions. Let's see, maybe just in the chat, just quickly, maybe one thing, how do you see yourself using the We Think Twice campaign or other SRAE education materials that we've mentioned to help the teams that you serve? And we also have, just FYI, we also have a collaboration spotlight on the exchange that it's a 2-hour presentation that will give you a lot more information about the campaign and the associated products. And I'm sorry that we're right at the end here, but if you do have any questions, feel free to insert them in the chat and we'll get back to you with any replies. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Denise, and thank you, Owen. We will leave the chat open, I believe, Julie, for a few minutes so people can respond with their thoughts and to the question about how they might use this in their own programming. With that, thank you to everyone.
We'll leave this open for another minute or so. Please feel free to drop your comments or questions in the chat and we'll circle back. Thank you so much for joining us today.